She's very safe. She's very strong, and
Yes.
she can land just a bubble or two and on a champion. It's almost like a blitz grab in terms of how dominating in a lane it can be. And I believe she's actually getting a nerf here pretty soon too. They've been talking about it on the PBE, but I'm not sure how concrete those numbers are.
Yeah. And I should say that those Nami being a very strong pick is typically in respect to Thresh being banned. Not that Nami and Thresh per se are counters to each other, but Thresh is a very common ban, and Nami is just kind of next up on the roster for your go-to supports.
I feel like it's yeah, they're pretty close in level, but Thresh is just I guess a little bit higher. The skill required to play him is a little bit lower, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that might also have to do with it.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Team Question Mark here is followed up with a Rumble selection. Very strong top laner. His equalizer in the ultimate category is, I mean, literally does as the name says, it will equalize out many fights or just kind of secure that gank, or really, when properly used, is one of the few ultimates in the game that just completely changes a team fight before, during, and after.
Oh, hey Kent, I think the summoner spell blocker isn't up.
Alrighty, let's get that up because we wouldn't want that to be down. Spell blocker. And looks like
Fifth pick here, we have a Zyra support. I've been seeing a lot of her recently. She's another one of those really strong disengaged safe supports. Also, she ends up being able to carry a lane. Her CC can really lock down an 80 carry for enough time for the equalizer to kill him, and her ult also works very, very well with Jarvan and Orianna ult. Just kind of setting a little bit more range.
by the looks of it, they're just not gonna let us. Looks like the spell blocker's not lining up. Apologies again for the technical difficulties. We'll get that all hashed out here in the downtime. Hopefully, our teams are more concerned about their pick process than they are about checking out each other's summoners.
We're a little bit behind schedule, so I'm sure we'll be okay. Everyone's in a bit of a rush.
Yeah, so it looks like we got the picks rounding out with Wiz Fujin on Ashe. And we've got, by the looks of it, Zyra there, filling the support role in the bottom, as long as nothing goes too crazy.
And just to talk about Ashe for a second, Sneaky Castro of Cloud9 has recently been playing Ashe a lot. As far as I looked last week, she was 3 for 3 in picks in games and wins. So I wonder if Cloud9 thinks they're onto something, and Wiz Fujin thinks he might be able to channel his inner Sneaky.
Yes, I believe they were talking about that in regards to the kite compositions that have started to pop up throughout the OGN leagues in response to kind of that aggressive push strategies. If you counter that with a good kiting composition, as you can get here from Ashe and Nami, it really lets you drag out engagements and hopefully get them into a situation where you're at an advantage, because many teams are guilty of the over-engage and the re-engage and just engage, push. And so when you counter that with an Ashe in regards to her volley and her frost arrows, it really gives a pretty large advantage to the team that can use that kite composition to their greatest advantage. Especially by the looks of what we got here from the team question mark or purple team. It looks like they're a pretty hard engage composition.
Yeah, it really looks like they want to really jump past the Ashe arrow, the Ashe disengage, and the Nami ult disengage. Both of them are very strong at peeling off champions, but if purple team sits around long enough, Ashe can't really run away from any of their damage. She just kind of has to sit there and hope she doesn't die.
Absolutely. And I really think it's an interesting composition we have here in the bot lane is what really has me quite excited. Is we've got the Ezreal Zyra versus our Nami Ashe. And this is definitely, it's going to be challenger level 80 carries facing off against each other with some very established and powerful supports backing them up in Vincencio, Vinsaku on Zyra, and ShorterAce on Nami. So that'll definitely be something to look out for.
And both of those supports are very, very active champions as well.
Mm-hmm.
it can be just one or two of your hard CC maneuvers on the other AD carry, and you can turn a lane around almost instantly. So we'll have to watch out for that.
Yeah. I'd say off the bat, I kind of give the advantage here to the Ezreal Zyra lane, simply because of Ashe is known to be a little bit squishier in the early game. I know they addressed some of that with some of her semi-recent changes, but Ezreal is definitely one of the best when it comes to poking and picking his engagements. So just to review warmonks here, how does the cleanse work in regards to the Nami Aqua Prison?
It does not work the way you want it to. Cleanse is basically useless in this scenario because it's a knock-up. It's not a stun, which if you highlight over Cleanse, we're about to hop into Summoner Select or loading screen, so we won't be able to see, but it does not remove knockups, so Ezreal will still be knocked up for the duration. It will, however, remove Gold Card and Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so there's definitely some opportunity cost in that item, or in that Summoner spell, I feel. We'll have to see how it affects them.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something they're taking in regards to the later game. It's definitely just a safe pick on a champion like Ezreal. It's going to ensure that he gets away. It's also going to help with the Zac engagements, I believe, because if contact is made off that elastic slingshot, that does provide a short stun.
The Elastic Slingshot is a knockback. It's a small reposition, and then the ult has one as well.
Okay. Alright, so not finding the use for the cleanse there. I mean, obviously off of the Ashe Arrow itself.
The Ashe Arrow itself, the Gold Card, and Aurelia's Equilibrium Strike, it'll all remove. And the slow on Nami's attack speed buff, or attack damage buff, but not big there.
Yeah, so it definitely looks like there will be some application for just some chances to use the ultimate as we see, or as excuse me, using the cleanse as he sees fit there. So we're going to get try to get our overlays matched up here so we can best kind of show off these champions for you. But in the meantime, let's go to the mid lane. It's kind of an interesting composition we have there, or an interesting matchup. Well, not interesting. It's a well-known and quite interesting to watch. The Orianna Twisted Face matchup.
Twisted Fate needs to be pretty careful early because his damage doesn't spike until mid-game, whereas Ori's passive was really dominating in the first couple of levels. The Clockwork Wind-Up, every auto attack deals additional magic damage, so TF needs to watch out for that. But if TF gets to level 6 safely and can start ganking other lanes, that's really where his power shows, and Orianna needs to be on top of that and constantly push him out of lane, which is very hard. Both of those two champions shove very, very hard, so we might not see a lot of room, but we will definitely see some. What I'm really interested in watching is the top lane. Aurelia and Rumble are both very strong laners, and they both contribute quite a lot in the in-game teamfight. And it can be just one or two situations where it turns the game around when one of them catches the other.
Going into the early game here, looks like we have a hard invade by Team Boner. Looks like they're just trying to get some wards in here, and we have Rumble and Orianna throwing out some poke there to start it off. Looks like nothing really came of it, but both teams have wards, and Team Question Mark saw the wards from Team Boner there. So, by the looks of it, we're just going to have a little dance. You know, not really much love making, but looks like the teams are going to get down tonight. So, it'll be pretty interesting to see how this goes from there. And we just have the 3-man defend by each team. So, looks like we got a pause here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens about this.
Hopefully they're not yelling at the casters.
Yeah, let's hope not. What I would like to point out is the ward placed by Team Boners is a ghost ward, so it'll actually be gone here very, very quickly.
Okay. This guy said be right back. Alright, looks like we just got a slight delay here while one of the players just had to bounce out for something. And just so everyone knows, Judgment League, from my understanding, is mostly West Coast players. Kind of all over the ELO spectrum. I mean, by the looks of it, it's mostly a higher ELO challenger towards that round. But they're not playing in the same location. So you do have some issues when running some tournaments of that variety where people are here, there, and everywhere.
And it looks like we're going to see boners here invading right into red or the purple team's blue buff, but Rumble is going to spot them standing in the bush safely. So purple team knows that boners is there, but boners does not know that purple team is.
And it looks like from there we're just going to... Oh, yep, Team Boner just going to back. We got a hard engage in bot lane on Ezreal. He pops the cleanse to get away, and
he also popped flash, yeah.
Flash there. So it looks like Panshi's going to make it out of there with his life at the cost of his flash and his cleanse, excuse me. So I'm sure Ashe and Nami in bot lane are going to be quite excited with that. ShorterAce and WizFujin definitely setting the pace early in that lane.
As you can see, they've already shoved a tower because they know they just forced Ezreal back, and they're trying to take advantage of the lane right now. Ashe has perfect CS at the moment, and Ezreal has 0, so that's an entire wave's worth of gold that's setting the difference.
Alright, and by the looks of this, yep, Ezreal was able to pick up just 1 pot each. You know, it's kind of a thanks for coming out, but...
And ShorterAce is going to ward, so if purple wants to go, and now's the time. And it looks like Ashe is going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage to Bioshoka there. She'll walk away safely.
Yeah, something maybe someone could get to Riot Games. Oh, and looks like we got an engagement here in mid from Jarvan, just kind of poking around, seeing what he can see. And he's going to back off here. He's sighted by a blue ward, though, so that's some fantastic warding there by Team Boner.
Yeah, they are aware of where Jarvan is, but it looks like bot might not react in time. Jarvan's going to wait a little bit too long and walk back the way he came.
Looks like we just got some proper micromanagement out of WizFujin in bottom, and he's just dodging those Zyra snares and just kind of sidestepping. Going back to mid, it looks like Jarvan's coming back for another round.
And here's Zach getting ready with the elastic slingshot. He's going to go, and it's not going to hit. But the gold card will. Jarvan will walk away safely, though. In bot lane...
Just getting more and more aggressive in bot lane. Ezreal... excuse me, Ashe is definitely setting the tone. And I think this is going to be indicative of what we're going to see in the next few weeks out of Ashe. She's really just able to kind of pace the lane as she sees fit. And Jarvan's down there just waiting around, seeing what
looks like he's going in. He goes in on Ashe. Ashe flashes.
So there goes the flash on WizFujin. So, and Zach coming in on top hard on Rumble. Rumble flashes away. So it looks like Jezie on Rumble, flash down. Pretty effective ganks out of the junglers for the first round. None of them leading to a first blood, but those flashes going down is definitely a nice 5-minute reprieve. And it's really going to force the people in lane to be a little more careful with their decisions.
And Ezreal is a much stronger laner than Ashe. However, due to that level 1 fight, Panchi is pretty far behind, and so as we see him start to catch up, that'll definitely turn a little bit until we hit mid-game. But that flash was definitely a nice boon for him.
What I'm waiting for right now is the kind of the point in time where... Oh, and it looks like we had a hard engage in top. Looks like Aurelia just got a little too greedy with her... excuse me, her blade surges, and Rumble was able to just kind of deal enough damage there, toss a couple harpoons, and push her out of lane. So
down bot, some poke going on, but everyone will run away safely. Also in that top lane engage, Rumble had just hit 5, so he had a level advantage on the Aurelia, and so that also led to how dominating that fight was.
Yeah, and this is definitely the point in time where Rumble starts to kind of get a little lead going. You know, once he starts to pick up all of his skills, get a couple levels, especially in the Flame Spitter, he's able to really start to kind of, you know, vomit out the damage. With that Cloth 5-star as well, he's going to be pretty immune to a lot of the damage that Aurelia is going to do, and it's just going to allow him to trade a lot more effectively.
Looking at the CS totals here, I'm noticing that Rumble is definitely winning the lane, but not by much. Aurelia will probably even it up with this wave coming in, but bot lane is where the very big difference is. It's over 12 creeps at the moment, and that's adding up to a lot of gold.
Alright, just repositioning the window there. Sorry for those. I noticed I couldn't see the bottom lane, or the bottom row of items on the summoner screen. And looks like Zyra here is using her seeds in that bot lane to just hold a little advantage. By the looks of it, Zach's been camping this mid lane here. Let's see what we get out of this. Nope. Decides to back off the elastic slingshot.
And with Zach's early game presence is honestly not as effective as most people think it is, because you really need to get some points in that elastic slingshot before you really get range to be able to gank effectively. At level 1, it's barely larger than Flash. It's just a little bit more. I don't know the actual numbers.
Yeah. And Team Boner spotting out Jarvan coming in for the lane gank. Just backed off a little bit. Jarvan came through. There wasn't really much for him there. That's pretty advantageous for him, as Jarvan's jungle there is cleared, so he's going to be a little lost. Going to the top lane, Rumble's hit level 6, gone in for a hard engage on Aurelia. Aurelia jumps back in for Equilibrium Strike. By the looks of it, Rumble's going to be able to just chase her out of lane, take a little damage, does not pop the Equilibrium. I think Rumble's pretty happy with how that top lane is going. So.
He's content to just trade back and forth with Aurelia because she really needs to control the creep wave, and it looks like Rumble's going deep with the Equalizer. Aurelia with the Equilibrium Strike.
And if Rumble can land his harpoons here... Oh, TF ults. Looks like Rumble's going to pick up the kill.
And Zach comes in as well. Elastic Slingshot hits, TF lands a gold card, and it looks like Rumble will be taken down.
So Rumble picks up the first blood, and in turn gives his life over to PHB Chicken on TF. I definitely think that that whole engage there obviously favors Rumble outside of the first blood money. By the looks of it, Aurelia is going to miss another wave.
And going deep on Zyra.
Wow.
Bubble lands, and that's it down. But it looks like Ashe might also go down here. Barrier is popped. She'll be safe. Israel's going to keep chasing. The Nami is getting very low.
Nami pops her ultimate there just to shove him off. Excuse me. So yeah, that's definitely matching with how the lane's been going so far in regards to the bot lane. And looks like both junglers are going to hand off that blue buff to their respective mid laners. And as of right now, the only lane that hasn't really seen much action is the mid lane. And if we just care to examine the CS there, I mean, they are literally neck and neck in the jungle. Going back to top lane, Rumble hard engaging on Aurelia. Well, does not use the Equalizer, but just runs in with Flame Spitter and a couple harpoons and shoves her off, so...
And Rumble thinking smart, he's got that ward really, really deep, so he can see when Zach's coming up. Because last time, the ward, it just didn't see him in time, and Rumble had already committed by the time Zach showed up.
That's definitely something for players to take notice of, is the where you're actually putting your ward. It varies time to time based on the jungler you're going up against. With kind of your junglers that come out of nowhere in regards to Hecarim, Zach, Vi's another one that they can just pop in for their ganks literally out of out of nowhere, out of the other jungle.
Rumble, however, does not have Zach's current location warded. That's a very unconventional spot, and it looks like the slingshot will land.
We got
Flash out of both.
Yep. Flash, let's bounce by Zach. And Rumble overheats, not able to cast his spells and dies. Jarvan comes up and in return kills Aurelia. And he's just going to shove the Zach out of lane. Oh, a fantastic command shockwave in the mid lane by Orianna. TF follows up with his pick a card,
And a
wild
bubble
card.
bot lane lands on both, and they're going deep on Ezreal. Ezreal cleanses and flashes, and he'll walk away. But Zyra's still running.
Good pop-up there by Zyra's ultimate, and the plants might be able to finish that one off. Nope, everyone's able to walk away. So, basically a large amount of action in a small amount of time. We had Jarvan picking up a kill top, along with, excuse me, looks like Zach picked one up top as well. Going to the mid lane, TF flashes out of the command shockwave by Orianna, picks up the kill with his combo, and trades with Orianna, excuse me, and then bottom, Ashe.
Almost killed Ezreal. It was a close
yeah,
scrape.
exactly. Yeah, that was a very good engagement in that bot lane.
It looks like TF ult is coming in top lane. Aurelia's just gonna walk away though. Rumble's still got the Flame Spitter on though, so he's dealing damage to everyone. Looks like Aurelia goes back in, and the stun card lands.
And that right there showcases the strength offered by Twisted Fate. Even though his lane was somewhat pushed, he was able to just ultimate up, and a good Aqua Prism by Nami onto Ezreal forces the Arcane Shift away. Looks like Ashe is going to pick up a kill here on Zyra. And it's just, right when, it feels like when that 10-minute mark hit, both teams kind of decided it's time to engage, because it's not just one side or the other, it's with and without the junglers, but the bot lane definitely feels like Ashe and Nami are setting the pace down there.
When they hit 6, they get a huge power spike in their CC, and Ezreal, because of that huge disadvantage early game, he really couldn't control the
going
lane.
into mid here, we have Command Shockwave in on Twisted Fate, followed up by a Jarvan Cataclysm.
Twisted Fate goes down. Oh. Jarvan flashes, and it looks like Ori might be able to take down Zach's passive. Nope, he'll walk away safely.
Yeah. It's really interesting the amount of, I would have to say the amount of effort being put into Zach towards that mid lane. You know, he really understands that he's got to influence Orianna early to help Twisted Fate kind of get the, get an even footing. But
it looks like Zach's lodging the slingshot. He misses, and the Crystal Arrow will also miss Ori. She'll walk away safely.
That was a gutsy play there by Team Boner. If they had landed that combo, I think that would have been a pretty easy kill for Zach in the mid lane. But getting back to what I was saying, Hank Kim on Orianna right now is just showcasing Orianna's talents with the repositions. Both of his command shockwaves have led to kills. They've been fantastic. He's also used her passive with her auto attack to just maximize the damage. And TF has really had to work and burn summoner spells for kills. So I see moving forward that Orianna is just going to slowly pull ahead. I mean, she's 1-1-1. Twisted Fate is 3-2, and I feel like she's probably a lot more comfortable with where she's at.
One of the things that's really important when playing against a TF is forcing fights on him, because then he can't ult to the fight. If Jarvan ganks top lane, Twisted Fate can ult in and already imbalance the fight. If Jarvan ganks mid, they have a 2v1 on Twisted Fate, because Twisted Fate is already in the lane. So that's kind of what Purple Team is focusing on here by ganking that lane over and over again. And also, TF's pretty easy to gank. He doesn't really have an escape besides that flash and gold card.
Yep. And going bot, you see Jarvan come in for the gank, but fantastic warding there by ShorterAce up towards Dragon. Spots him out, and they just back off a little, use the hawk shot by Ashe, and just walk away, no harm, no foul. Aqua Prism by ShorterAce misses, follows up by a snare by Zyra. Little poke exchange, but nothing comes out of it.
Well, Ashe has that Infinity Edge, so being able to proc her passive on Ezreal is a pretty huge lane position or lane control difference. And as you can already see, Ezreal had to burn a pot because he was at less than a quarter health from just one rotation of poke.
Well, we got an equalizer in the middle by Rumble with a flash shockwave by Orianna.
The no-kill.
The no-kill.
Jarvan coming in bot lane. He lands the Cataclysm on Ashe. TF ults in. Take Ezreal down. Looks like Jarvan's going down as well.
Once again, as much as you want to, you just talked about it, warmonks, how you need to bring the fight to TF, and with the fight not brought to him, he sure as hell will bring it straight to you, and that's just showcasing the utility of Destiny. He rolls in there for a double kill, and what looks like is going to parlay straight into a dragon for Team Boner.
It looks like they might catch Ori here as well. Gold card lands, and yep, that's another kill.
That just opened up with a fantastic Aqua Prism by ShorterAce and kind of the pseudo 1v1 with Orianna. And it's that type of play to your supports that you really need to succeed at the higher levels. And on top of that dragon there, Irelia is able to pick up the top tower, so that's a pretty huge spike in gold for Team Boner here.
We'll have to see if this gold swing keeps happening. They were even about 3 minutes ago on gold, and now there's almost a 5k difference.
So when you add in dragon, top tower, and then the kills that came from top tower. That was a double kill bot lane, plus Orianna also got killed there. So that was 3 kills for 0, plus a top tower, also pulling Rumble out of lane. I mean, that was just a huge swing. That Destiny from Twisted Fate has single-handedly swung the game. I would not say single-handedly. Very heavily, by itself, swung the game in Team Boner's favor.
That's one of those things about these champions. champions like Ashe and Nami who just have this huge spike in power level 6. You either need to shut them down early or this will happen. You'll just get collapsed upon. And as you can already see from the S on Ashe, one auto attack and her volley was almost a quarter of Ezreal's
Going
health.
mid, we got a less bounce by Zac onto Orianna. TF, Destiny's in, picks off the Orianna, and looks like Jarvan is going to get just cleaned up here by Aurelia.
And meanwhile, we have Ashe going deep onto bot lane, getting a double kill, or sorry, 1-for-1 support and AD carry. All the ults were burned in that fight.
Looks like Scumbag Nami had to pick it up there with her, excuse me, Scumbag Nami had to pick up that kill there with her, excuse me, with her ebb and flow, but I don't think Ashe is going to complain. She's up in Infinity Edge, 4 kills. And by the looks of it, Team Boner is just going to go through a nice little cleanup drill here.
And here's 2 more towers going down. They've almost gotten 10k gold in the amount of time it's taken Purple Team to get 2,000 gold.
I'd have to say right now, the MVP of the match is... I'm halfway between PHB Chicken on Twisted Fate and just Wiz Fujin on his, we're gonna say his fantastic Ashe playing the bot lane.
And Rumble going deep on TF, lands the ult, flashes for a harpoon, and picks up the kill with his burn.
And looks like that was just from Rumble having a little awareness, you know, noticing TF was out of lane. He goes to check the Wraith camp. That's a very common place for the mid laner to go. But if we look back bot lane, looks like Wiz Fujin and ShorterAce go in on the hard engage, and they're going to pick up the kill here on Ezreal pretty easy.
There's no tower there, so...
Wiz Fujin here just on an unstoppable streak. I mean, when you got an Ashe with an arrow, or excuse me, an Infinity Edge, it's pretty hard to trade with her at all. So, and also noticing that Ezreal here is on the old blue Ezreal build with the Spirit of the Lizard Elder. That was something that was nerfed recently, so I know a lot of players are favoring the hybrid build, where they pick up the Tear and the Bloodthirster. Is that correct, Warmonks?
Yeah, you go Tear, Bloodthirster, Ice Fist. Some people choose the Ice Fist second. It's really up to the user, but those are kind of your mid-game goals. One of the important things about blue Ezreal, though, even before the nerf on Spirit of the Elder Lizard, is that you can't go behind. You really need to keep on level with people to keep Elder Lizard being relevant. And if you get behind in this situation, your damage just falls off entirely.
And by the looks of the ward coverage, looks like Team Boner here, you know, with their gold lead, is able to parlay that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wards on the map versus Team Question Mark 0 currently. Excuse me, 5, 6, 7 wards on the map for...
It looks like there's a little bit of a pink ward battle going into this blue buff battle, going deep on Ashe, and like I said, that's all the purple needed to do.
There's definitely some fantastic combination of the ultimates there, and that's Team Question Mark just showing off their strengths there with their team fight.
And Rumble going deep on Nami there to pick up the kill, even though Nami flashed, and Rumble is still chasing. TF ults, and he ulted to the same place. Looks like he might go down here as well. Zac is recalling, he'll make it out safely.
Aurelia still pushing top, though. That's definitely a heads-up play there by Cherish on Aurelia. Realizing that his team was in a 5v4 bottom, having no capability to drop down there, just decides to push the top lane, and by the looks of it, nope, is going to get pushed out of lane by that equalizer from Rumble.
And Rumble and Ori are chasing fast. Looks like one harpoon is down too.
And that'll be all she wrote for Aurelia in the top lane. Ezreal picking up the bot lane turret. So, while that was a heads-up play by Cherish, definitely mistimed the amount of time it would take for them to get back to the lane, and they pick her off pretty easily with Rumble's harpoons.
And that's the benefit Home Guard really gives you.
Oh, absolutely. Both on Orianna and Rumble there, so I did not notice that.
Both of them picked it up, that time going back as well.
Kind of paying for itself there with that kill, so that's definitely one of those items that if you feel like you are at parity or behind. Oh, and looks like Nami here just getting caught by Hank M. Ashe coming in to help, but
And that's not what blue team wanted. Dragon spawns right about dragon spawns now, so looks like purple team has a big advantage coming into this dragon.
Ezreal hard engaging here on Rumble, landing the gold card, Zach Elastic slingshotting in and cleaning that up. So I would say with that trade, blue is actually at favor to pick up.
The crystal arrow will whiff, and it looks like Ori might go down to Ashe here before the fight really even starts. Gold card on Jarvan. That's another kill.
Orianna burning the flash there to dodge that crystal arrow, so no fault there to Wiz Fujin's Ashe arrow aiming skills. By the looks of it, blue team's gonna back off here and just kind of pick up the free dragon. And
one of the nice things about being at this point in the game when you're ahead is basically dragons are free. There's nothing the other team can really do to contest them if you have a fight beforehand.
Yeah, I thought Team Question Mark there had the ability to take that dragon, or at least, you know, stop Team Boner from picking it up. And I think it was interesting how the Team Boner was able to just engage right on top of it.
Jezie just got a little bit too greedy on Rumble, went a little bit too deep and just got caught out, so that really turned it around, because when you're behind and you can't really fight those even fights, especially not about minor objectives like Dragon.
Absolutely agree with you there, warmonks. By the looks of things, looks like it's a 6K lead for Team Boner. And like I mentioned before, I think they're just going through the motions, slowly but surely getting that advantage, and just trying to close it out from there. I would say if Team Boner continues on this path, they'll be up for a Baron here. Next couple minutes if they can win it, or when they win a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all it takes. They already have the oracles, so they just pretty much need to sweep through and they're good. And I'd like to look at the creep score for a second. A Rumble versus Aurelia. Aurelia has been split pushing all game, and she's still 40 creeps behind Rumble. So that in itself is actually a pretty big gold difference, with Rumble almost 1k up, even though they're up towers, dragons, and assists.
We have a small skirmish mid, and looks like Jarvan's going to pop his Cataclysm, and Twisted Fate uses the Destiny to pop in there. Counter-engaged there by Shockwave from Orianna and Equalizer from Rumble. And Ashe in the back just hammering away.
And that fight almost went perfectly in purple team's favor. Jarvan followed Ashe going big, gets 1 kill, 2 kills, and will she get the third? Zach will pick it up.
Third, and yep, just 3 there for Ashe. And that's definitely the strength of having Zach on your team. That Cell division, while he does die and does not deal damage, a lot of teams have to make that split-second decision of, do we kill Zach? Do we wait for him to come up? Do we engage other people? They made the decision to try to go after Zach, and Ashe was able to just clean up from there. And that's pretty indicative of 9-1 AD carry. So this is going to lead into an inhibitor there for Team Boner.
Back to what I was saying, though, was Jarvan had the ball and jumped in on Ashe, and Ashe managed to flash out of the ult before Command Shockwave went off. If that Shockwave had landed, Ashe would have dropped easily, instantly, and Purple Team would have easily been able to take the team fight. But due to the fact Ashe got out and their disengage being so strong, she was able to survive and turn the fight around.
I would like to also point out Team Question Mark's engagement on that Twisted Fate Destiny was top-notch. They noticed it was coming. They were able to shift away from the Cataclysm, knowing that people were going to be stuck inside of it. And just from there, pick off Twisted Fate and then move back to the fight. A little skirmish there between Aurelia and Rumble leads Aurelia to popping Flash over the Baron pit just to make sure she doesn't get picked off there. And that's definitely some kind of luck of the draw, but some heads-up play there by Aurelia, just realizing, hey, I can't go down right now. I really need to stay alive for this next fight. So I can give up my Flash, you know, take my licks, and just, you know, lose this cooldown.
And it's really important you don't just get caught out and die at this point in the game, because it can lead to such an easy engagement like that enchanted crystal arrow that almost hit. I'm
definitely liking Wiz Fujin's use of his crystal arrows. not afraid to toss him out there, try to get a pick, you know, and then get some follow-up from his team. With Twisted Fate and Zach, they're definitely able to close those gaps pretty quickly if they see an opportunity or if they land that, you know, long-range arrow. And just so everyone at home is aware, Crystal Arrow deals a stun, a larger stun the further it flies, up to 3.5 seconds. And while that doesn't sound like much, just hearing 3.5 seconds in game terms, that is forever. So interesting positioning here from Team Boner. They're looking like they kind of got caught out, but what they're really doing here is just kiting away from Aurelia in that top lane.
And it looks like that tower might just go down to creeps, because Aurelia is going to walk away. Oh, she hasn't quite decided yet. Looks like she will turn around to finish the tower. Meanwhile, Boners is also going to shove bot lane there, hoping to draw some more attention. And Ezreal's going top to stop the Aurelia split push, but that might not be enough. And Rumble going deep on Nami.
And both the Equilibrium from Rumble burn and the Destiny burn from Twisted Fate. Nami's going to pick up that kill before he pops off any other, before Rumble pops off any other cooldowns.
At the same time, Ashe lands a beautiful arrow onto Ori and picks up that kill easily.
Showing here that Team Boner is not afraid to engage in all areas of the map, in all variety of situations. We saw Zach there, Elastic slingshotting in. It looks like we have a Baron attempt here by Team Boner, and they've got vision control over this segment of the map. Purple team has no idea what's going on right now. And
at the same time of that Baron play, TF, PNB Chicken just teleported, or just ran down bot lane to shove that tower. And while Purple team is going to check Baron, which they won't make in time, PNB Chicken is just still shoving.
So once that Baron goes down and Team Question Mark is kind of, you know, settled back in, the pings come out from Team Boner to move towards that dragon. So it shows they got their timers down pat. They've got their Baron on all 5 members. Looks like TF is going to solo this dragon up. And right now it's just when and where Team Boner decide to close this one out.
And it's like their team cup is definitely falling into place here. They have such strong in-game plays, and this game has really gone in their favor since the start. So,
and just going, kind of rewinding a little bit, it all came back to that that series of play in the bot lanes where Twisted Fate Destinied in, picked up that double kill, then they picked off Orianna, they got the dragon, Aurelia picked up that top tower, and things just kind of snowballed from there.
I would say they even started at level 1. Forcing Ezreal to back and burning both of his summoner spells is a huge disadvantage in bot lane, especially as an aggressive champion against a passive one.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting to see if that if this Ashe play will continue in, you know, LCS, Judgment, in just all of your, you know, competitive leagues. Because she definitely offers a kit that can be used to, you know, to great advantage, but it also requires precise play, very similar in regards to Nami.
It's really scary to play Ashe as well, and very discouraging, because when you do get caught out of position, you die. You're punished so heavily because of that no escape play. So it's really greedy as well. Like, you need to be very comfortable with the champion as well as being very trusting in your team.
Also hoping their jungler is not going to just camp you ad nauseum, because as much as play and positioning come in, if a jungler decides he wants to sit on you in bot lane, he definitely can wreak some havoc. You know, 1 out of 10 ganks succeed. You know, that one that does succeed might be the one that matters.
And even in a successful situation, that doesn't necessarily mean getting a kill. Even burning a flash or burning an ult, that's still a lot, or forcing the enemy champion to go back. It still alleviates a lot of pressure on the lane.
Absolutely, and right now Ashe is just on a rampage. Okay, not literally, but
looks like Jarvan tried to go in, but went too deep. A beautiful command shockwave, followed up by Rumble Art and Cataclysm, and Zyra ult will lock down Boners.
Zach getting real aggressive here in the secondary engagement, understanding that his cell division is up. And Wiz Fujin's Ashe just in the back line, raining down the damage. And I think this might close it up, or nope, looks like it's going to lead to bot tower and inhibitor. And that engagement right there is just an understanding of how much damage their champions deal, how much damage they can withstand, and just engaging to that fullest extent. Looks like Boners here is going to close it out. Fantastic flash gold card by Twisted Fate, forces Ezreal to flash cleanse away. And that'll be it.
Yeah, that'll be the game. Well, fantastic showing by all of Team Boners. I have to commend PNB Chicken for showing the power that TF can bring to a team.
Yeah. Just noting, Zach there went 2-0-11, little Meteos channel there, not dying at all. And even Aurelia, the only member on the team to be negative.